Hello and welcome back to the course. This is Kirill Romenko, and today we're going to be installing Linux onto our machines. And right away, apologies for my voice. I lost my voice over the past week and it's coming back slowly, but not fully yet, but I hope we'll be okay today. So the reason for this tutorial is that PyTorch doesn't actually work on Windows. It only works on Linux or Mac. So if you have a Mac, you definitely are fine. You don't even need to do this tutorial at all. On the other hand, if you have Windows, you need to install a virtual machine, and then on top of that virtual machine, we're going to install Linux, and then into that Linux, that's where we're going to install Anaconda, Python, PyTorch, and everything. And we're going to be doing all of our work inside a virtual machine, simply because that's the only way we can get PyTorch to run. So that's what we're going to be doing in this tutorial. And I'm going to quickly show you a demonstration of what we're working towards. So this is VirtualBox Manager, where the virtual machines are stored, and we'll create one of these. And this is me running a virtual machine right now. So you can see that this is like a computer inside a computer. So this is a virtual environment here. And give it a second. So you can see now it's slowly loading. All right, there we go. So this is Linux, to be specific, Ubuntu, inside my Windows. And now here I can install Anaconda, Python, PyTorch, and everything and do my work here. So that's what we're working towards. Let's get rid of this and let's create our own virtual machine. All right, so first things first, we're going to start with an article. We're going to be following the instructions in this article. So go to instruct, if you need to bring this up on your own, if you need to follow these, go to instructables.com/id/introduction-38. It says Windows 7, but this should be fine for Windows 10 as well. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to install the VirtualBox, and you can get it here at virtualbox.org. And if it's free, it's absolutely free. So just click here and it'll download. You need this one, VirtualBox, whatever version, but you need it for Windows hosts. You could also do that on Linux as well, but on Mac. But really, you don't need to, because PyTorch runs fine on Mac. So once it's downloaded, just go through the installation, and as it says here, just keep all of the defaults. Continue with defaults, and once you're done, you will get VirtualBox on your computer, something like this. So let's quickly open it up just to show you. There it is, run, and then you just go, like, I already have it, so it's offering me to repair VirtualBox, but you should just install it. It's a very straightforward process. All right, so once you've installed VirtualBox, now is when we can create our virtual machines. So again, we're going to be following these instructions. I'm just going to walk you through it instead of like reading these instructions. But if you ever, so up to this point, if you ever like get lost, you can always refer to these instructions as well. All right, so let's have a look. I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Let's call it AI Box 4. Here, make sure to select Linux, and then you need Ubuntu 64-bit. Click Next. Give it some memory. This is the RAM memory, which you can change later on. So it's no big deal if you set it to low or to high right now, and you find that your programs are not working as quickly as you'd like to. You can always adjust it later on. I'll show you how. But for now, just set it somewhere, wherever you like. Somewhere, I usually set it somewhere in the middle. Create a virtual hard disk now. Yes, you want to create a virtual hard disk. And bear in mind, this hard disk that you're going to create is going to go onto your main hard drive. So on where your Windows is installed, that's where it's going to go. So make sure you have enough space there. and we'll talk about space in a second. So VDI is what we need. Dynamically allocated means that the amount of space on your hard drive is allocated as is required. You can choose either. I choose dynamically allocated. So click next, and here I like 10 gigabytes is not enough. You should have more than that. You should allocate about, right now I'm allocating about 50 to that previous VirtualBox. So, and it's dynamically allocated if you choose that option. So it shouldn't be any big problem. But just make sure you have enough space on your hard drive. So 10 gigabytes is definitely not enough. You need a bit more than that. So click create, and there you go. So there's your VirtualBox. It's all created. It doesn't have Linux on it though. You still need to install Linux. So for now, let's go to settings, and let's check a couple of things here. So where was that? System. So here in system is where you can adjust the memory. You can just slide it around, but it has to be off. So the machine has to be off for you to be able to adjust that. And then you need to go to storage, and this is where you need to hook up a Linux distribution in order to be able to install it onto your computer, onto your virtual machine. So I'll show you where to get that now. Again, if you go in these instructions, you scroll down, you'll be able to see more information on how to install it. And here's the download. So you go to www.ubuntu.com/download/desktop. Just download it here. The thing with this is that it's actually very, very big. You can support them if you like. You can donate here. If you don't want to, just say no, take me to the download. And it's going to start downloading, but it takes a couple of hours, so be prepared for that. Yeah, I know, I was shocked too. Maybe it's just Australian internet. Just click download here if it's not starting. So here it is, it's 1.4 gigs. Oh, well, maybe it might be faster, hopefully. But for me, it took like a few hours the first time. I know, Australia. Australian internet is not the best. But we're getting there. Slowly, we're getting there. Anyway, so once I canceled it because I already have that file. So once you've downloaded it, go back here, and where it says empty, click this little icon. It's very, like, you might want to click this, but you actually need to click this CD icon, and then find that file, that ISO file you downloaded. You just need to find it among your files on your computer. So if you click here, you'll be able to actually go in and locate that file. I put it into my VirtualBox folder, but you can put it wherever you like. So there it is. You just double click, and now it's connected. There you go. So it's all done. You can see you can remove it if you don't want to have it there, and that's it. You just click OK, and it's ready to go. What you'll find though is that the first time you launch it, you might get an error, and the error might look something like this. So I took a screenshot of it when I had it. Now I won't have it because I fixed it, but you might get an error which looks like this, which says basically that virtual machines or virtual environments have been disabled at the level of the BIOS in your computer, and that you'll need to fix, but you'll need to restart your whole computer in order to do that. So go ahead and try launch it. So let's see, like you'll see in my case, for instance, that it's launching fine, and this will start the installation process. Let's give it a second. So it's like any computer when you're first installing it. It's using that virtual or that ISO file that we connected to install Linux right now. It's starting installation, and then you can walk through it. So there we go. So you can see here you can actually go through the installation process. But before we do that, well, basically once you get to this stage, it's pretty straightforward from here. You just go ahead and click install Ubuntu, and then you go through this process of installing it. You just go, I'm just going to quickly show you this part. So continue, you don't need to check any of those boxes. Your erase disk, yes, but don't worry, this will only erase things inside this virtual machine, not on your hard drive. So you click install now. You click continue. So I'm getting an error here because I just don't have enough space on my computer right now. So host memory low. So look out for that as well. That just means you don't have enough space on your computer. Like we did allocate 50 gigabytes, but on my actual hard drive right now, I only have like 9 gigabytes or something like that. So it's not enough, or even less than that. It's not enough to install. So just be careful of that. So make sure you do have enough. But once you ensure you have enough, it will let you install the system onto your computer. So here I'm just going to power off. And the reason for that is because I already have another virtual box here and it's taking up some memory as well. In the meantime, what I wanted to show you is how to, so like it's pretty straightforward from that part. If you get to the installation, you just go through the installation, accept the defaults, and you'll have Linux on your virtual machine. But for now, how do we deal with that error that we saw? So let me bring it up again. So this error, you need to restart your computer and you need to click, depending on your machine, it's like one of the F keys. So F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F8, F10, F12. It depends on the computer, but very likely it'll be F2 while your computer is restarting. You know, when you have, like at the very start, when your computer is starting, you have the black screen. Because you need to get into the settings of the computer, and look up your model of the motherboard or computer to find out what it is. Or what I just do, I just press all of them. I just press F1, F2, F3, all of them at the same time, kind of thing. I don't recommend it because you might actually break something like that, but that's kind of the approach I use sometimes when I when I don't want to be researching what key I should be pressing. And so basically, I'm just going to skip to that part of the video that I recorded because I had to record on my phone, so that because obviously it's still before Windows loads, and I'll show you what it looks like and how to find that setting which you need to change. And then once you've changed that, you just come back here and you can run your virtual machine setup. One last thing that might change things is, like, if it's still not working, then some people play around with this checkbox. That might do something for you, but it wasn't necessary for me to check this checkbox. It's working fine after I've set it up on the level of the BIOS. So there we go. I'm going to skip to that part of the video, and yeah, see you there. All right, so here I'm in my BIOS settings for my computer. So check this out. I'm gonna go to devices. No, it's in, where is it? Advanced. Then I'm gonna click enter for CPU setup. And then if you look here, you'll see virtualization technology. It's disabled. And so here I'm gonna click enter. I'm gonna click enabled. Now I need to click save and exit. That's F10, F4, F8, F10. There we go. That's how we do it.